Senator Perry, great bill, even better substitute. And I think that we need to both speak to people that are going to be in opposition to these bills, because this discipline issue has gotten to the point whether it's rural, suburban, or urban. And I agree with Senator West on making sure that we have input from all the major geographic areas of the state. But the bottom line is to do nothing is continue a process that has led to, demoralized teacher workforce, lack of safety in the classroom, continued disruption of the education day. Are we missing anything from this? Do you want to speak to the people that don't want to seem to be supportive of school discipline?
No, I mean, basically, unfortunately, we've placed our teachers in so many multiple hats and roles. They're expected to be a teacher. They're expected to be a surrogate parent. They're expected to be a mental health expert. And then all that is they're expected to know how to take down a disruptive kid in their classroom physically. I mean, I have a principal, she weighs probably 105 pounds soaking wet, and she was telling me the other day that she was having to have training on how to take down a out-of-control child or person, or adult almost. I mean, that's what our classrooms have evolved to in our public school settings. Shame on us as a legislature for letting it evolve to that. We've robbed many, many kids of a good learning environment, and we've allowed kids that did those things to believe it was okay. And I don't know what the disposition on when they graduate and go on through life, but I would guess that if you had that kind of attitude about respect and authority and what you do with that at that early age, life didn't probably treat you very well. So it's a multiple learning. There's more to reading, writing, and arithmetic in an education system. Part of it is values, respect, authority, loyalty, and just things that you need to be successful in life. So this is the other side of public education that I think growing up, I'm 63, took for granted. Now, arguably, we had a different support environment, usually at the parental level. But that being said, if the parent, if the teacher's going to be expected to be all of those things, then one other thing about it I always hear, and I heard this few years ago, I'm not hearing as much, we just can love those kids out of these issues. Well, I agree, teachers can have that influence in that capacity, but at the same time, there's two sides of love. There's tough love. And I think we've lost that connection that if you're going to be in that role, you can love on those kids that are struggling, you can interact with them, you can get to be a very close mentor to them, but at the same time, you got to have the boundaries that if you cross them, I can be that disciplinarian person too. And our teachers don't feel like they can do that today. So.
No, and that's why these bills are important. And on a somewhat humorous note, Mr. Chairman, I think at least Senator Perry and I, and probably Senator West from the 1970s, were subject to the Board of Governance. If you remember.
The Board of Education.
Oh, the Board of Education, okay.
It's inappropriate, but I would share that a nickname for me was Stripes, and you can take that for what you
right.
It be. So.
And so you can see that we at least three senators turned out fairly well. That was AKA referred to as a SWAT board, at least in H-Town at the time. So we're not advocating corporal punishment. At this point, but
it's still allowed. It's just by district decision with
right.
parental consent.
By parental consent, but importantly, we make that point because it was a completely different disciplinary setup.
I wish the board correct what's going on in our classrooms today, but these kids are further down the road than that. It's a different kid.
I'm just glad to know that it was the Board of Education, Senator West. It had a better name than the one I was subject to.
All right.